this actually started when they did the defund police and if you remember a couple of years ago, when they defunded the police, 20% of their budget, over $1 billion in New York City, on a $5 billion budget. The police took their people out of the subways. They didn't have enough manpower. And there was over 1 million person march in New York City. I'm sure you didn't hear about it, of parents and people who ride the subways complaining that they don't feel safe on the subways. And I give the police commissioner came out and credit to him, because he said, I got to tell you something. You defunded my police department. I don't have the manpower. You're on your own. Protect yourself. There's nothing I can do because you took it away from me. And that's what's happening now. They're telling the parents about these schools. They've taken the money away because of the leftists and the communists and the Democratic Party, and they're putting it towards the illegal immigrants. And so they're taking it away from protecting their children, which is just since AOC took over 5-6 years ago, she has tried to take over the city and the state, and she has run primaries against moderate Democrats, calling them old white men, and it's been Hispanics and blacks and all of them. Anyone who is moderate, they've wiped out over 30 of them in 5 years. When I started, there was one communist. Today, there are 17 assembly members registered with the Socialist Democratic Party of the United States. They run the show. They're running New York State right now, and we're seeing the results of it. The check for that money. A big check. While we were getting a couple $100 back on our tax returns, illegals in the city were getting $14,000. And so, what Senator said is 100% correct. They can come to your house. There'll be a sheriff or a state trooper standing behind them with their gun ready, and they're going to take whoever they want. And you have no legal recourse to say, I'm going to call an attorney. Too bad. Attorney can't do anything. I want to know where you're taking them. Too bad. We're not going to tell you. I want to know when they get out. Too bad. We're not going to tell you. This is so draconian. And the fact that Senator Borrello, they beat this in court the first time, and it tells you to the character or lack of character our governor has, that she would actually take this and appeal it and go to a higher court, which is stacked with Governor Cuomo appointees. This is a travesty. This bill can't, because you're right. Because if they come to my house and try to take my 16-year-old daughter, one of us isn't going to be around. I'm telling you that just as a fact, because people are not going to put up with this when they hear. When I got into politics at the local level, and then when I got to the state level, my eyes were totally opened up to the corruption that is New York State. This state is far beyond the corruption. I tell it all the time to people who come visit. I say the corruption drips off the walls in Albany. And my job, I feel, is to expose it, is to tell people about it, and so that we can try and make a positive change, because we don't want to leave this state. But more and more people, as for the decades that they keep migrating out of New York State, it's becoming a running joke that it's escaped from New York now. And that's pretty much that old movie where we laughed at it because it was so cool. It actually is turning into a truth thing right now. New York City, I call it the rotten apple. It's not the big apple anymore. It's dying under its own weight. The communists have taken over, and I say that with all sincerity. It's no longer Democrat, Republican anymore.